Hi, my name is VordyKitKat, and welcome to my What's Humans CBT3 specific farming / cooking tutorial guide type of thing. We'll be discussing how the farming setup is designed, how the plumbing was optimized, the specializations you want to aim for, and the cooking and the types of recipes that I myself focused on throughout the beta. So first we'll start with the farming and plumbing layout. So as you can see here, I have a lot of OCD, so my corners are touching to touching. So I had it where if the rows were 2 by 11, so in total I would have roughly 51 plots per side of the farm. Because on top of the 2 by 11, I would have 2 plots in the middle, as you can see there. But I also have my auto irrigators set up to optimally cover as many of the plots as I possibly could. And right now, as you can see, I'm growing some wheat. So for the amount of lights, we discovered that they kind of changed them throughout the beta. And at the end, we were figuring out that the lights could cover roughly a 5 by 5 plot radius. I unfortunately found that out a little too late in the beta, so I didn't switch up my lights, but as you can see, I have roughly 3 lights per row. And as you can see over here, it's about the same. It's a 2 by 11 with 6 plots in the middle. There'll be a diagram here in a second that'll help. Make sure you can pause the video here. It'd be easier to look at the full diagram completely. And as you can see here, I have 4 busy bees on each side of the farm, and we have 6 water pumps total for the entire plumbing system. Now, the plumbing system got a little changed a couple times throughout the beta. It was mostly bugs and fixes that they did. But as you can see here, all the water flows from those pumps through those big pumps to the smaller pumps, which will be shown here in a second. As we come over here, as you can see, I have one of the smaller water pumps per the larger water pumps, just to try to get as much outflow as possible. Here you can also see that I have 4 buckets total collecting water from all 6 of the water pumps. And this was trying to help to mitigate the inflow and outflow and try to keep it built up. Now I had two water pipes, 2 of the smaller water pipes flowing into one bucket, and then I would have a third one connected to the second bucket, and that was the same on both sides to try to get as much extra water as possible. Now I could have added an additional water pump to kind of even it out fully, but I was also doing several other things within the base, so I didn't quite have the space to build those extra water pumps. They also do consume 10 watts each, so it is a power battle between all the things that you have in your base on top of farming. So here I have it set up to where I have 2 pipes flowing into each osmosis machine on each side. This is to try to get another min-max flow of the water as much as I could, which was a little difficult. Now I did find out that each osmosis machine can maintain roughly about 4 auto irrigation systems. Now I here have a setup to where I have a backup reserve bucket in case there's like bugs within the server that messes with the water pipes like they did a lot. And then I have the outflow mainly, purely, that goes straight to the auto irrigations where it flows naturally down, so that I don't have to add those extra small pumps. So that's not necessary to have the backup reserve, but it does help in case those bugs do arise, so you can continue to farm for at least another 24 hours or so, which hopefully will give the devs enough time to fix those issues. Now, I ran my entire farm off of the advanced biomass generators. This is only because they gave the most output per generator, which was 35 each. So I had 6 total throughout the whole farm. But now, back on fertilizers! Now, Scarlet Calamus seeds are something you want to collect early game, because they'll help you overall in your farm, because then you can make the breeding boost fertilizer, which when you put it in with a crop into your crop plot, will give you more seeds out of that crop, which will help you build up your count. Now, there is a lovely little route that I would take that you'd start from Deadsville and you'd go northwest up the river, and then you get to this point and you cut left. Just go to north, there's not going to be many other seas. You follow that river completely all the way up until you get to the lake next to the tall grass inn and collect them all. A mutation fertilizer will help you later in the end game when you need those deviated crops for those gold meals that'll really give your character a nice boost. In order to do that, you need to farm mushrooms. And now another thing that'll help you with those getting those crops mutated are the busy bee deviants. These are great for giving, I'd say, probably about a 10 to 15% chance to deviate a crop. Now I set mine up here to try to get as much coverage of my farm as I could. And they'd kind of just go down. At first they'd line up at crops, then they won't always go back to the same crop every time, but they will flow here and there. Now you can find these through the morphic crates out in the wild. They look like this. But now onto the specializations and tools. Of course, you want to make sure you have the chef's knife, the garden gloves, the harvesting stickle, and then when it comes to the cooking, you want to make sure that you have the gourmand and the mini canner. We discovered that if you craft all 3 different tiers of each of those, the chef's knife, garden gloves, and the harvesting sickle, the stats stacked on top of each other. Now, I primarily focused on only 3 meals when it came to my cooking. I focused on the mushroom stew, which gave you a lot of stamina for your character in terms of overall stamina and recovery speed, which is pretty good mid-drink. The whimsical drink is one of the strongest end game gold meals that you could possibly get, I'd say. It gives you a big boost in psi intensity, especially if you have the right bonuses for it, which the Chevosaurus Rex will give you a nice good boost, especially if you get them at level 4. Now you can find the chef at Silo 5 through this elevator side room where you fight the mushroom lady. But here are some of the bonuses from the food that I crafted on top of all of my stats and the warband I was combined. Now, I do hope you did find this guide / tutorial helpful when it comes to your farming and your cooking, and I hope it was explained thoroughly enough. This is my first video, so if you would like to have more videos about cooking or farming in the future when the game fully comes out, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.